Hey, are you looking for tips in New World that'll set you apart and give you the edge? Maybe discovering features that are unnecessarily hidden? Or maybe you're just possibly here because you want to support a small YouTuber, but I highly doubt that. Well, I guess it's a good thing that I am a small YouTuber that has some of those tips that you're looking for. Let's get straight into them. Tip number one is going to be to pick up all provisions crates. These are going to be so valuable. These have the items that are going to be, I imagine, the hardest to get. It depends on which ones they are, but they're going to be hard to get. I'll pick up this one right now and you'll see what kind of items we'll get. So we got orange and bread bait. So oranges are the type of item that these are going to be the only way to get them. And it's when you go into your cooking and you see, you're like, oh, where do you get an apple? Where do you get an onion? Provisions crates. These things are going to be going on the auction house, trading post, for so much money. My guess is at the beginning of the game, once it drops August 31st, that these are going to be going like hot tamales. There's also provisional stockpile versions which are bigger, and I'll get this one right here. The reason I came to this place, Ancient's Pass, is because there's so many in this area. I needed oranges for a cooking recipe, and I accidentally bought them off the trading post when I just came right after to this little place and got 14 immediately. I came back to the kitchen just to show you guys what to look for to know if something is from a provisions crate. So this onion, if I hover over it, it says derived from provisions containers. So these kind of items are what you're going to need. Let's go to the fruit stockpile. That's where I needed the orange from before. So these you can only get from provisions containers. Tip number two is going to be to not be afraid to fast travel. It's going to save you so much time in the long run, and it's not really even that hard to get Azoth. If you want to see your Azoth, you go into your inventory and look at the bottom right. And even if you hover over it there, it shows you how to get it. It says derived from corruption breaches and quests. The only thing to be worried about when fast traveling is your weight. If you weigh too much, it'll make it not worth it, because the more you weigh, the more it's going to cost to fast travel. Also, if you need to go somewhere that's your own faction, then definitely fast travel. If your weight is down and your faction owes it, it is going to be cheap to fast travel there. The last little addition I'll add on to this tip is to find these. Go to the New World maps, look where they are, their points of interest, and just discover them so that you can have all these little extra points to fast travel to. Tip number three takes us over to the trading post. And it's going to be a simple one, but I feel like a lot of people just don't want to buy things. And if it's going to get you a lot of experience, help you finish a quest, then just buy things. Especially if it's going to take you a long time to get those things and they're super cheap on the trading post, just get them. The game's going to be out and it's going to be going for a while, so you don't need to worry about having all the money in the world in the beginning. Actually, the quicker you do buy things and get faster levels, the sooner you get to 60, and that's when you'll actually be able to get the better money. Tip number four is going to be knowing what each thing you craft is going to give you in your profession's experience. So the forge, when you look here, these are the recipes from quests, which give you so much experience, and they are definitely worth it if you're trying to level fast. If you click on them, and it's going to change for how much it requires of your armoring skill or weapon smithing skill, but if you look here at the bottom right, 630 weapon smithing, compared to, let's take an equal level 50, say I'm making a spear, weapon smithing, 330. We hopped over to the kitchen, and I just want to show you the power of knowing that in these quests, how powerful they can be. Perennial herb stockpile, 100 cooking, which will take a while to get to, but if you're using these will put you up eight levels at a time sometimes. 100 gives you 9,455 cooking. And when you get this much experience in your professions, it levels them up a lot, which in turn gives you a lot of experience. All right, guys, before we get into tip number 5, the last and final tip, I would just like to ask you guys that if you learned anything or if you just want to support a lowly New World player, please hit that like button. It really helps a lot, and it really helps me know I'm going in the right direction or the wrong direction. Tip number 5 brings us to one of those tips that I said is hidden unnecessarily. Let's go into the trading post and see what I'm talking about. So you can see all these things over here, and that's where most people look, and then they see all the prices and everything. Let's say I needed a rare item. Let's look for something that's hard to find. Light armor. Let's just go all the way over here. Let's look for this. So there's only one. Let's see. Oh, what is this? Oh, up here you can search all settlements, and that'll give you everything. That way you don't have to waste time by just going to each settlement and looking in each individual trading post. know exactly where you need to go to get it. This is going to save a lot of time, and if you need those hard to get items, this is how you want to look for them. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys learned something and that these 5 tips were helpful. Stay tuned on the channel and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos.